Hey everyone, Michael Short here. Come on, let's go outdoors. Well, welcome to the 2023 edition of the Pet Expo here in Edmonton. And it's kind of a unique event in that, well, lots of pets obviously for sale, but a couple of the booths that you're going to see here this year revolve around Don't Let It Loose. And a real pleasure to have Jenna White here from, I guess you're the National Coordination Center of Invasive Species here in Canada.
That's right.
Talk a little bit about why you're here and what you hope to accomplish.
Absolutely. We're trying to reach pet owners while we're here. You know, everybody who owns a pet obviously loves their pet, and we want to make sure that, you know, they're seeing them through to the end of their lives and not releasing them into natural environments where they could become harmful to other species, species at risk, and different environmental conditions.
It's interesting because when we think about invasive species, we often hear, oh, they came in a crate of bananas or they came attached to ships from foreign lands. But really, some of the biggest threats are from domestic pets that we like to have in our home that find their way into wild areas. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah, I would say, and you know, it's an interesting, very pure form of invasive species pathway and spread, because it is very much the direct release of a species. It's not, as you mentioned, attached to anything. It is directly as a result of human intervention. And this is something that, you know, is a very controllable issue if, you know, pet owners are willing to just, as I mentioned before, kind of see their animals through the end of their lives and not let them loose into waterways.
Is there a top 10, top 5 list of pets that you sort of really feel you need to be getting into and getting a message out?
Sure. I mean, our main message today is on goldfish. We're here in Alberta, where actually goldfish are a big problem in a lot of stormwater ponds. A few case studies in the last little bit have revolved around the removal of, you know, thousands of goldfish from small waterways. So those ones are a big issue. We work primarily in Ontario, where there's also red-eared sliders, which is a species of turtle. And so those ones as well, we want to concentrate a bit on those and make sure that they aren't released. In terms of kind of terrestrial, you know, also issues in different parts of the country on rabbits or other species like that. So those are kind of some of the main ones. We deal primarily with aquatics.
So I guess the reasonable conclusion is, yes, you're trying to reach out to the public at large, but point of purchase of these pets has got to be a primary focus point for you folks.
Exactly, and that's why we're here today. We're hoping to reach, you know, the pet owners right at the source, and just give them some information that, you know, there's nothing wrong with owning a pet. You know, many people do own pets, and it's a great part of life. But we just have to make sure that they don't, you know, become invasive by being released into natural environments.
I mean, I've mentioned this to other folks sort of in the area of invasive species, and that is, you know, you guys must have a tough time going to bed at night because you're worried about all the things that can be released into the environment. It's a you know, on top of the things that you can't control, this is something we really can control.
Absolutely, and it is frustrating. You know, I think that pet release, there's a twofold kind of issue with it, that you know, you're not only neglecting your pet, that's something that, you know, a lot of people consider part of their family. You're neglecting the care for that pet by, you know, putting it at risk for predation, starvation, different temperature conditions that could just, you know, have a really hard effect on their lives. And then also the environment, the neglect for the environment that poses is a really sad kind of part of that it's not only the pet that's going to be influenced, but it's other creatures and different parts of plants and aquatics. Yeah.
You're collaborating, I guess is the best way to put it, with the Invasive Species Center. Talk about how your two groups work together.
So, you know, the Don't Let It Loose messaging is a national campaign. We work closely with the province of Alberta. We work with our colleagues across Canada as well. It's really important that the messaging is consistent so that people, it's really easy to understand, and people, the general public is really receiving consistent messaging.
So in terms of getting more information
Sure.
about invasive species, where are some of the go-to online
Sure.
resources?
Sure. So our Invasive Species Center .ca has a lot of resources on species profiles, so you can read about the impacts of those species. We also have our homepage for the Don't Let It Loose program, where there's lots of information on how to be a responsible pet owner. We actually have a pet owner checklist that we encourage people to look at. It was developed with some of our partners who are experts in the field, and they give some advice on how to make sure that your pet is living the best quality of life and seen to the end of its life in your care.
All right, Jenna, thanks so much for coming out here
Yeah.
and helping spread the word about Don't Let It Loose and responsible pet ownership. Folks, it really is up to us. This is one of the few things that we can control in terms of what's going into the environment. So, you know, if you're getting those goldfish or other exotic pets that when they've lived out their life, I guess the big thing is dispose of them properly. Anyways, lots more to come on this topic over the next number of months, to be sure. Stay safe, everyone. Till next time, I'm Michael Short. Come on, let's go outdoors.